Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're gonna be start the part number 10. So it's time to do the authentication. So this is how we finish the last part. So we just finally fetch everything coming in from the backend. That was what we did with the tab working here and stuff like that. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish with this two design. And next video we're gonna make logic for this design working with Apollo. So in the next video, you're gonna see how you can like save the token of the GWT and make the user stay log and make GraphQL use the GWT by default when you do a request to the backend. But before doing this, we need to do the baby step of the application, and one of the baby steps is gonna be to have some basic kind of design and function. So I get question about why I'm using Redux on this app, and this is what I'm gonna show you. It's first thing, I'm loving Redux. I mean, Redux, it's really powerful. I know now with Apollo we don't really need any more Redux for everything about the API call and fetching, but I think Redux have its place for managing the application state who don't relate about the domain state. So I mean the API state. So what I talk about that is example, if I want to manage my user and stuff like that, I'm gonna need that example. In the future, we're gonna have the user avatar at the top right there, and Redux is gonna be a good thing to have it and to plug that with Redux navigation. Also, I'm gonna make use of that to make sure that my user is authenticated, have its own stuff, and I'm gonna show you some other tip we can do with that. But Redux is gonna be really a small part of the application, but I really think this is something we can use. And other thing, I think Redux it's I mean, I know it's hard to understand, but when you get it, it's pretty simple, and this is just really awesome because at the end, Redux is just plain JavaScript. It's just plain like minding of function and stuff like that. So this is what we're gonna do. So first thing, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create another screen. I'm gonna call that authenticate screen. Just for now, I'm gonna make use of a component like that, and I'm gonna just make use of the component style like I always do, and I'm gonna create my root like always. I'm gonna just make a variable t just to be the text for now because I'm too lazy to type the full word, and I'm gonna create the authenticate screen just for finally give us maybe authentication screen gonna be a better word. I don't like authentication like that, authentication. And now here what we're gonna do is just return root and just put the text and say authentication screen, just like that. Now the thing is, how can I get the screen like before showing this, because I don't want to show this part. I'm gonna just remove the debug because I think that make my app really slow. Okay, so now the thing is we are there. So that's gonna be a place where we can plug Redux. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a reducer. So I'm gonna call this reducer user. Inside this reducer, I'm gonna create an initial state. So if you have seen some of my other videos, this is how I like to work. And what I'm gonna do in this one is gonna be pretty simple because I don't want a lot here. What I'm gonna put is I'm gonna put the token to be null. I'm gonna put is authenticate to be false, and I'm gonna put info to be null. So the token is gonna be the GWT token. Is authenticate is a way for me to get a boolean and know if the user is logged or not. And info is gonna be null because it's gonna be an object when it's filled. You can put an empty object if you like more, but I think null is make more sense. Better to see like if no info like that. After that, I'm gonna create my reducer where I'm gonna put the state initial state by default, and I'm gonna just return the state like that for now. For having access to the reducer, I need to import it inside my combine reducer right there, like that. And now, if I rerun the debug, and I check in my state, I'm gonna have a user by default with false. Perfect. I'm gonna shut down the debug again. So now what I'm gonna do, it's right there inside the navigation. I'm gonna go at the top. I'm gonna say import authentication screen from the screen authentication. And now here I'm gonna plug at the bottom my user coming from my state.user. And now this is a really easy one. We're gonna say if this that props that user that is authenticate. So if it's not authenticate, return the authentication screen. So if everything is working, now we are supposed to see the authentication screen. Perfect. So now we don't let access the user who is not authenticated to anything in the application, and this is what we want. Perfect. So now time to check a bit. So first thing, that's the page we need to write. In this page, what we're gonna do finally, this is just a blank page, like a blank color. Not a blank color, or you say that, like a full color, yeah. And we're gonna have two buttons. One, it's get started to make the app sign up, and one, it's already have an account and make to the login. I can't have make use of navigation here. I have like two navigation in my app and doing stuff like that. But I'm gonna just show you another way, and I know that's gonna be maybe feel like not a good transition. So this is maybe something we can add in the future. Because at the end of this tutorial, I'm gonna plan to just do like small little video where I'm gonna show like, oh, this is how you can add like a swiping element here, and I'm gonna make use of this one sometime. So here we have done with the navigation. So now time to work with some of the design. It's gonna be pretty simple here. So what are we gonna do? It's inside the root right there. We're gonna say flex one. We're gonna say background color, and we're gonna use the props theme. Secondary, so my famous color secondary, like that. And now if I save, we are getting the full dark colors. After that, what I want, I want to have my button here get start. So this button here, I need to have it right there. And for getting that, what I think it's pretty much easy to do, it's making use of some absolute position. So if you know CSS, you know that if you want to use position absolute, you need to have a relative container to make use to tell the position absolute where to go. So if I say 5% from the top, that's gonna do 5% from the parent who have the position relative. So by doing this, now what I'm gonna do, first thing, I'm gonna import my touchable component, because now what I can do, I'm gonna say button login with a style. We're gonna wrap the touchable button. Here I can put basic attribute because I don't want to type it in my air props. I'm gonna say opacity. So I want the feedback to be opacity, and now I can start to design this thing. So I'm gonna put a height of 75. I'm gonna put a width of 150, and I'm gonna put a background color. You know I like to work with really big colors. So I'm gonna put the button login like that, and I'm gonna make use of my text right here. So now if I save that, that's gonna be really bad, but at least we're gonna get the point. So now we are there. Thing we can already do really easy. Justify contain center, align item center. Why that? Because now the text is gonna be right in the center of the button. Perfect, this is what we want. After that, what I want, it's now I can make use of the position absolute. And now I'm gonna give you a value for the top. So the top, I want it to get 30% from the top. So if I just do this, now you're gonna see, I'm gonna get it right there. But now what I can do too, is I can say, hey, give me, oh, not right in uppercase, but right, like that. I want it to be at the right, first thing. I don't want it to be at the left. Perfect, we added it at the left. So I think if we look at the preview, it looks pretty much at the same position. Now we need to have some border radius, which is just in the left side. So how we can do this with React Native, it's by doing border top left radius, and I'm gonna say 20, and I'm gonna say border button left radius, I'm gonna say 20. By doing this now, I get my radius right there. So now I can already put the color. So because right now it's really red, I'm gonna put the color if I can finish it. Props props that theme that primary because it's the Twitter colors. So now we have the blue. Now what I can do is I'm gonna make change of the text. I'm gonna call this thing button text. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna make this one to be white. So I'm gonna make use of my theme again, because if I want to change my white one day, I'm gonna just change it in one place. After that, I'm gonna have a font weight because I want my text to be bigger. So I'm gonna say bold, and I think it's HT. And font size 20 is gonna be good. So now I can take my button text and put it right there. So now, yeah, but now we're gonna say, I think I say that in uppercase, get start, like that. Perfect. Now it's already start to look what it's supposed, but you see here I have some kind of shadow. So how we can add the shadow, it's we need 4 elements for that. Always remember that we need 4 elements. Oh, shadow opacity. I'm gonna say 0.4. Shadow radius, I'm gonna say 5. So the radius of the shadow here. Shadow offset, we're gonna say 0 from the height and 4 from the width. And shadow color, I want it to be dark. So just by doing this, look at what we got right now. We get the same button. Now, one thing we can really do really easy, really easy, is to put the text at the bottom. So I'm gonna make use of it. Sorry. How I'm gonna make that is I'm gonna create finally another container who's gonna be positioned absolute from the bottom, and this way it's gonna always look the same on other screen, because remember Flexbox make the like a responsive design for the mobile. So example, if I make use of iPhone 7 Plus, the design is gonna follow. But if you always make use of the height and width with number, that don't gonna follow. So here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a button text container, and I'm gonna say I want that to be a view, and I'm gonna say position absolute like I just told you. And why? Because I want it to be at the bottom 0. I'm gonna say left 0 and right 0. So like that, you're gonna touch the full size. So you're gonna add the full width. And I want it to have a height of 200. Just for showing you, I'm gonna put a background color of red. And I'm gonna put it right there. So now if I say it, that's gonna be right there. You're gonna take this space. Now what I want inside that, I know I want my text to be at the center, and the same for my align item to be at the center. And now I can create my button, because remember I need to click on this, so that need to be a button. So I'm gonna say style that touchable attribute. I'm gonna say feedback opacity, and now I can put the design. And now what I'm gonna do right there is I'm gonna say justify contain center, because I want the button to be justify contain center, and align item center. I don't put background color because if you see here, it's just the text. So I'm gonna let the text have size. So I'm gonna say button text are yeah, I think I'm gonna change this one to be button logging text, like that. So this one's gonna be button text. I'm really bad with names, sorry. Like that. This one's gonna be a text. And now this one, I'm gonna just copy and paste this color white. I'm gonna just finally copy and paste all that, but we need to change some of it. Here the font weight, I want it to be 400, and the font size 16. So now I can put my button right inside the button button text container, button, and button text. And now I can say what is the term, already have an account. Already have an account. And now I have it right where I want, like that. Perfect. And now I don't want it to be red. Another thing, we can just sorry, we can add. It's now, if you see here, I type and maybe I have a big finger and you see the opacity. Like if I click, we see the opacity, but the opacity just really touch what here. If I click here, I have nothing. Or we can add like kind of a big circle around that to make easy for a big finger. Like my example, it's we can add it slop right there. It's slop, take an object where we can say like top 20, bottom 20, right 20 and left 20. So that means add 20 from each of the side here. And now if you see, if I click here, I'm good. But now you see, if I still click here, it's good, good and good. And now it's stopping. So if you see, that make all this thing. So now if I click here, it's work too. So this is what do the it slop. Give you finally a way to make it easier to click, because it's a thing I get a lot from client. It's, hey, your button, it's good, but I mean when I click, it go really really bad. So now what we can do, it's when I click that, I want to manage this like kind of navigation right in from the screen. So what I can do from here, it's I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna create a state, and I'm gonna say show sign up, and I'm gonna say false by default. And it's gonna be pretty easy. What we're gonna do, it's we need to create first thing another component. So I'm gonna create right there a sign up form.js. So each form gonna have its component. So again, I'm gonna just make use of what I always use just for create a component really quick, because I want to show you. Oops. Like that. And now I'm gonna just copy paste this term. I'm gonna go at the top of this page. I'm gonna import my sign up form, but now that's gonna be from component and sign up form. Why I'm gonna do this is because here I can say if this that state that show sign up form. So if it's true, I want to return the root with my sign up form right inside, like that. Now I need to show a way to make it. So example, if I make it true, now we're gonna see the sign up form. And why I'm using the root is just because I want to have the same background color, and because again, I'm too lazy to write it. So now what we can do, we need to click, when I click the button, I need to change that. So I'm gonna create a function right there called show sign up on show sign up press. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good name. And I'm gonna see this one, I want it to change the set state, if I can type, sorry, show sign up to be true now. So just by clicking that, I can do this. So now I can copy paste this term, and I'm gonna click on, yeah, maybe no, yeah. So I'm gonna change maybe the name here, because I've seen an error. I say button login, but this thing is button sign up. So what I can do is I'm gonna select everything with Command D. I'm gonna say button sign up by doing this, and now I can change this thing by doing button login. And now I'm gonna go here like that. Sorry about that. It just comment. I just want to know which button is that. And now if I click, I'm good. You see, if I click, no animation, but at least we get to the point where we want to get. So if I click, now the set says become true, and this is the thing. So we did one of the thing. Now the other thing I want to do from here, it's now I want to have a back button. So if you see in this one, I have a back button here. So I'm gonna create this one right now because it's gonna be really easy to write. Sign up form, we go there. We're gonna need to import an icon coming from Expo again. Material icon. This is where I get the arrow. So this is coming from Expo vector icon. Yeah. And now what I'm gonna do, it's now my root here. I'm gonna just what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna just make it like working with the flex one finally only, and make it position relative like that. Now what I can do is I'm gonna create my back button at the top. So how I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna create, so I need my touchable again. You see why I like this touchable component we just create at the shop I work for? It's because, man, I don't like to import touchable opacity every time, or touchable feedback and stuff like that. And like, I mean, I don't know why, but I think it's just so much simpler doing this. Like, you came here, you say like back button, I get it from my style, I wrap my touchable, I can just put attribute on it and just say, hey, give me back a feedback opacity. But the thing about that, it's if this is an Android, that's gonna be the Android native click. So that's what I like. I don't need to do like, if it's Android, give me that. No, by default, we get this. So if you don't want that, I think you need to say default false, and Android gonna have opacity now. So yes, I don't really try to sell you that, but I think you see the point. Now what I'm gonna do, it's this button, I want my stuff inside to be at the center. So again, it's a lot of kind of boilerplate code. After that, this button gonna have a position absolute 2. We're gonna say background color red for now. Color not background red, yep. I'm gonna say I want it to be at the top left. I'm gonna say 5%, and to be at the left 5%. By doing this, I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put that, and I'm gonna say lol, just like that, just for seeing if that works. If I click here, I get my lol right there. You see, because I don't get a height and a width, finally the block just take the space. That's it. So what we can do from here, it's gonna be really easy. We just need to go here and change that to be the material icon. Material icon. And here what we can say, it's color. I'm gonna import my color. From my constant, I'm gonna say give me my color white, and I'm gonna say size to be 30, and the name it's arrow back. So now if I save that and I remove the red, now I get it, it's right there. Perfect, this is the size I want. And now what I can do is I need to go back when I click here. So now the thing is, okay, how can you do this? Because now we don't have access to navigation. So what I want finally, I want when I click back to just reput everything to false. And we're gonna have other item here. We're gonna have show logging to here. So what we can do is I'm gonna create a variable here called const initial state. And I'm gonna say my initial state gonna be this thing. I'm gonna remove this state. I'm gonna say state it's equal to initial state like that. And I'm gonna say here a function called on back button press, or just on back press, maybe on back press, and just finally set the state to be equal to initial state like that. Now I need to pass down this props. I'm gonna pass down here, so I'm gonna say on back press. There's that on back press. And now in my sign up form, in my back button, I can say on press this that props that on back press like that. And now if I do this, if I click get star, you see we come back because the initial state become like that was before. So that's perfect. I mean, yes, it's not navigation stuff, but at least we get something really quick. I think in MVP we want to finish that the quicker as we can. Perfect. So now this stuff is done. So now we want to design here. So what I can do is I'm gonna put through here, so I don't need to click every time. So now what we need to do here is gonna be to put the input. So I'm gonna close, just remove this one. Okay, what? Okay, so now we need input here. So we're gonna design one input. So by using the text input and just have a button here. So how I think I'm gonna do this, it's by making a wrapper. We're gonna take that and I'm gonna put everything in the middle. And I'm gonna take after that a button here who's gonna have some margin from the top and gonna have a width from here. So as you can see, so we build a wrapper. The root gonna say take the wrapper at the middle, and that's it. So we're gonna create this wrapper. Const wrapper equals style.view. And I'm gonna say align self stretch. Align item center, because I want the stuff to be at the center. I want the same for justify content center. Like that. I want that to have a width of 90%, because like you see, it don't touch all the side. Like I told you, gonna be at the middle, but I mean, just to be sure, I'm gonna put a width of that, and I'm gonna just like this, and I'm gonna say a height of 100%. So you're gonna take the place you can. So now if I put my wrapper right inside my stuff right there, if I put them a background color red, you see now you take everything but at 90%. So what we need to do here, because we don't are in center, I can just add an item center. Oh, justify content center. So what happening here is my wrapper, because I think this thing here, something pretty weird. I would have think my wrapper should have been in the middle of everything. So what I've missed here, I have my width of 90%. My height is fill. And for sure, I will have think align item should have centered this thing. Now you see, like, I mean, I'm debugging right now. I don't gonna cut that. I mean, it's just good for everyone. So here, maybe if you've seen that faster than me. So what I've did wrong? I think I'm gonna live with that for now. I'm gonna make the button at the button at the bottom, and I'm gonna just finally check after that. So I'm gonna say the button confirm equals style touchable that attribute. I'm gonna say again feedback opacity. This is the one I use almost always by default. This one's gonna be really easy. Yeah, so I'm gonna make use of the same way I used the button logging last time. So I'm gonna make use of position absolute again, and I'm gonna say give me that from the bottom, 15% from the bottom, and I want that to be a width of 70% of the screen. I want the height to be 50. It's almost like always by default. Oh, I put my button, it's height of 50. Background color, give me the color of Twitter, so primary. I'm gonna set border radius of 10, like that. And I'm gonna say justify contain center and align item center. So if I put the button right there, now I need to have a button text. We got it. I mean, I know it's a pain to always design, but I mean, we need to do this if we don't, we're gonna make it. I don't gonna work on an empty blank page. I like when everything looks pretty, so I don't know why, but this is how I am. Well, I maybe like, and I did everything in front of you because this is good for you and this is good for me in the same time. Designing, it's a skill you need to always practice. So now inside my button here, which text I've put? I think that was sign up. Yeah. Sign up. So now I have a button right in the middle. Okay, maybe you know why, because it's position. Okay, think I maybe know why. Sorry, I hate when something don't looks pretty, but I mean I'm gonna live with that. Here's this button. I think it just, so I'm gonna just remove the red for now. Just and I'm gonna just add some shadow on this button. So what I'm gonna add, it's shadow color black, shadow radius 0.2, shadow offset, I'm gonna say 0 px, 2 px, and I'm gonna say finally, I think shadow radius, it's 5. Yeah, it's funny. Shadow opacity, it's gonna be the 0.2. Perfect. And now I'm gonna just add something I didn't add before. It's elevation 2, because this is how Android works. So on the authentication screen in my button sign up, I'm gonna add elevation 2. So this is what Android need for the shadow finally. So now I think we are pretty good with the bottom. Yeah, that looks what we need. Now we need the input. How I'm gonna work with the input is we need to design the input. I mean the input, what finally an input now, it's become a container where I'm gonna put a border bottom white, and I'm gonna have the text input in the middle of that. So I need to create this thing, and this is almost like the lattice component because we're gonna make use of this one a lot. So here I'm gonna say input wrapper. It's gonna be a styled view. I'm gonna say a height of 50 and a width of 80% of this container. Background color red. I'm gonna put this input, I'm gonna put that in my wrapper. It's gonna be easier for you to see it. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make something. I think if I do that, I really strange, and I really don't know where I missed something. So this wrapper, really weird. So now if I put a width of 400%, yeah, we're gonna go with that, and how I'm gonna manage that, and I'm gonna just finally 90%, it's 5% from each side. I'm gonna say 70%, so we're gonna get the same width. Perfect. So this is how we're gonna work for this one. Sorry about that. We are programmer. We need to we need some time to find a way work around. I think this is the term in English. Here now we need the border button. I'm gonna add a border button width, and now it's hard to see it. But now if I put that to be yeah, I'm gonna just remove the background color. Now you're gonna see we're gonna have a border button, but it's gonna be black. So we can change this thing. So border bottom colors, and I'm gonna again use of the white. Oh no, that was the light gray. because yeah, that was a light gray and not the one. Yeah, perfect. But this width, it's 2, it's not 1. So now I'm gonna put a background color again, but I'm gonna put a little color like pink. Yeah. So now we see. So now how we need to work with it, it's first thing I'm gonna just put a margin vertical. So I want each input to have this some space between, because vertical. I see now I'm gonna have 4 inputs, so they're gonna be like that. Now I need to put the text inside that. So I'm gonna create an input, text input, and now I can do some stuff. I'm gonna remove like that, and I'm gonna remove this color. So now I can put the input right inside mine. So I'm gonna say input wrapper, like that, input. And now for seeing the input, I'm gonna put a placeholder, and I think the first one, it's full name. So full name. You see now it's right there. So this is the text input. You take this place here. So first thing what we can say, it's I want the text input to have a height of 30. So my full text, my full input wrapper, it's 50, but I want my text to be 30. So my height, I mean. After that, I want it to take the full width. So we're gonna take all the size of everything, because now if I type, so if I close this, now it take already full size, so I don't even need this thing. But now if I put a height of 30, now it's already there. But why I want it to be at the bottom? So I can do this, it's here. I can just say justify contain flex n. By doing this, my text input now gonna become at the bottom right there. Yeah, perfect. This is what we want. And now what we can do now, it's maybe I do my design is right. Yeah, I think it's perfect. So what I'm gonna do, it's here. After that, I can change the color of the text we write, because right now when I type, it's black, like that. So now when I type, it's white. And now I can do attribute here. One of the attributes I'm gonna add, it's placeholder text color, who's gonna be equal to the color light gray. So I want my placeholder to have the color white gray. So you see now it's white gray, so the same gray of this thing. Now what I can add here, it's selection colors. So the selection color is this blue thing here. It's hard for you to see, yeah, but I mean it's this blue here. So here what you can do, it's selection color. And now the thing is, we don't have access to this inside Android. So import the platform, and here what we can do, it's platform.os equal iOS. So if this is iPhone and stuff like that, here what we're gonna do, it's we're gonna just say color.white are undefined. So this way we have nothing. So now if I save this little blue thing, oh, I put white, but I want that to be primary. So prime, I don't even remember which color I put, but I think primary gonna make more sense. Yeah, that's gonna be the blue of Twitter. Perfect. And you see now when I select a text, it's the same blue and with some opacity by default. After that, now when I text, you see I get here the autocorrect. I don't want that. So now you see I don't have anymore the autocorrect. I don't want this thing. And now I don't want to be auto capitalized, because maybe like I think I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna make this thing, yeah, sorry, I don't know why I put AutoCAD, yeah, like that. So now we have the full name. So now we're gonna just create other input, and it's gonna be pretty easy. What? Okay. So the second one is going to be about the email, I think. Email, password, and username. Perfect, the designer looks right. So now you see, I click here and I want my keyboard to close. So I can do this. It's really easy. I'm going to go to my root. I'm going to change my root to be a touchable, because I need to be a button and I need to have access, not a button, but I need to have access to a touch event. I'm going to say none, because I want no feedback. And what I'm going to do, it's inside React Native. I can import keyboard. Now I'm going to say here, on outside press, I'm going to just call keyboard.dismiss, like that. And now on my button, I'm going to say on press this.outside press. And now you're going to see, when I'm going to click outside of the text input, that close the keyboard. Magical, like this. Perfect. So now we are at a good point right now, but the thing we need to do now, it's just to get the text, and that's going to be almost done, and we need to just do some little change on my input. So example, for the full name, I'm going to say auto capitalize, and I'm going to say with the word. So this way, you're going to see why. This way, I can say my name, space, and that go back, because remember, full name, I've always first letter uppercase. After that, the email one, we're going to say give me, because right now you see this is the keyboard by default. So if I click on the email like that, but I would like to have the email hash, or you say that like the A. So all you can say, it's keyboard type going to be equal to email address. Now if I click on this one, see, now I have access to this thing, and this is what I want to my user. So we change like that. After that, the password. I don't want to be able to see the password. So we're gonna say a secure text entry. So now the password, when I type, it's like that. And that's gonna be that. And now the thing, I think it's auto capitalized here. I'm gonna say none, because maybe your username, you don't want it to have auto capitalized like that. Perfect. Now I'm there. I just want to get this thing in my state. So I'm gonna just debug remote. Sorry for the long video. I just want to finish this thing the quicker we need. So this way, after that, we can jump another thing. So now the only thing, it's here, sign up form. I want to have the state of my input right there. So we're gonna just create a function, and that's gonna be the last thing for today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a function for get my text. So what I'm gonna do in my state, I'm gonna say full name equal an empty string, email equal an empty string, password equal an empty string, and username equal an empty string. After that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call a function called onChangeText, and this one gonna receive the text and also the type. So that's gonna be type email or stuff like that. Why? Because this way I can do this, that set state, and I can say type like that and text. So this way I can just create one function, and that's gonna be smart. And this way, with curly bracket, square bracket, type become a variable. So now on each input, I just need to do one thing, and that's gonna be about onChangeText. So this is Boolean React Native, and now right there I can say I'm gonna have the text, and I'm gonna say this that onChangeText, put the text, and now this one, it's full name. Gonna copy paste this thing, gonna say email, password, and username, like that. And now, just by doing this, look at the magic we just did. If I search for sign up form, we have the state now, and look. Full name, email, password, username. Perfect, this is what we want. So this is one of the things we need. Last little thing, it's this button right now. It's able to be clicked. I don't want to be able to click when everything it's not fully like filled. So all we can that is like, I don't want to do a lot of validation. I just want to say, like, if this thing I don't have all the input, I want to disable that. So by default in my touchable, I can say just disable, and now you see I cannot click. I try to click and not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function like that, and this function I don't gonna need to bind this thing, because I'm gonna call it right in the function. I'm gonna say here full name, email, password, and username. I'm gonna be destructuring that from the state, and I'm gonna say if no full name or no email or no password or no username, return true, else return false. Why I do this? It's now because I can just came here, say disable, gonna be equal to this that check disable, and I'm gonna call this function like that. So now I cannot click. I'm gonna add just some item, and now I can click. That's it. Yes, that was a long video. Sorry about that. It's just like we need to do some stuff. Now here we're gonna need to do the mutation and make the API call, the GraphQL call to the server. We're gonna need to create the login form, but I think we can just go with the sign up form for now. And because I don't want you to get stuck on the authentication. So I hope you enjoy. So now, just for showing you what we did, if we go back to authentication screen and I re-put back the show forms here, it's now, you click here and you can come back, and it's not working. A good thing we check. Oh, I know why. I know why. It's because I'm gonna need to put as the index here. Why I need to do that? It's because my root become at the bottom of the other one. So now if I do this, no, what happened? So what I think, my button back need to have the index. There's the index. This is what happens when you work with absolute position. Yeah, and now it works. And just for adding that, quick, really quick, because it's really hard to type, 20, 20, 20, 20. And now can type. Yep, no, it's much more easy. Perfect. I hope you like it, and we're gonna talk in the next video. I'm gonna record it today or tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna try to record at least 3 videos each week, but this tutorial we need I think 6 other videos, and we are gonna be done. So I hope you enjoy, and just let me know in the comment if you like this one, and please subscribe if you didn't. Have a good day. Bye.